2019 World Cup hero slammed 182 of just 124 balls against New Zealand, which is the highest score by an English batter in the 50-over format. Is Stokes' return a game changer for the defending champions ahead of the World Cup? That's what we'll be discussing in this edition of WION World of Sport Extra. I'm Vidur Kathuria and I'm joined as always by our sports editor Digvijay Singh Deo and Nikhil Mathur. Digvijay, Ben Stokes, is he a superhuman?
Game changer. He's, what's the right word for him? I think he's the Hulk. When he's batting like that, he's the incredible Stokes.
Yeah.
And what is it about Ben Stokes producing the goods when England needed the most? I think we have a couple of polls running on Facebook, on Twitter, as well as on our YouTube handle, and you can get onto that and we'll talk about it. But I think the reason why we're having this conversation, we had a similar conversation when Ben Stokes made the decision to reverse his retirement. But what we saw yesterday was just why he is a game changer. And this is the kind of personnel who influences a big tournament. This is the kind of a player who wins a World Cup for his team. And that's why he's special. That's why perhaps that I may get it wrong. People may go after me. But I think he's the greatest match winner in cricket ever.
Wow.
Because I was going through the list of how many runs have been scored in Test cricket or ODIs or even while bowling. But and listen, there are bilateral matches. Ben Stokes does it on the big occasion. Yeah. How many have done that? Let's look at the great Sachin Tendulkar, perhaps the greatest cricketer of all time after Sadon, who is in a different league of his own. But this generation, 2 World Cup finals, 2011, 2003.
Yeah.
Combined all, 15, 20 runs max.
Yeah. You're not going to be very popular on social media.
I am. Okay, I'm just saying, look at just specific instances of pressure games. There is Chennai. Obviously, there's Chennai.
Yeah.
Okay, but there was also another Chennai in 99. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, only in that context. See, when you compare full careers, Tendulkar is the greatest cricketer of all time. Okay, when you compare full careers, Don Bradman was in a different league because that's the only cricket that was played. And an average of 100 is like, when you said, God.
Yeah.
That's God. Tendulkar is the modern God. I think that's the 2 divisions. But I think, and I'm okay getting flack for it, but Stokes seems to produce these innings. I mean, previous game 1 run. Nobody cares. Yeah. But when his team needs him, there he is, 182. Boom.
Nikhil, do you agree with Digvijay?
I completely agree. I think he's the man for the big occasion. And he's not just the man for the big occasion, I think he craves it. There are very few players who can take that pressure and deliver. I remember the 2016 World Cup when, Carlos Brathwaite, remember the name, smoked him for 4 sixes in that over. And to come back from that and to win England 2 World Cups, I mean, it's huge.
They put it in the Ashes?
And the Ashes, the Headingley inning.
Oh, even the one this
Yeah.
Lords, right?
Yeah. The Ashes, I think.
I'm not sure about the venue.
Yeah, Lords, the second test.
Yeah, second test.
Second test, with the one which they lost.
Yeah, almost took them.
And from where?
From nowhere.
In the game.
Single-handedly.
Exactly. So I think he is the most clutch player, not just in cricket, but probably across the sport. Maybe Novak Djokovic comes close, but Ben Stokes, there's no comparison. There is no comparison.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the number of times he has single-handedly bailed England out of trouble and taken them to a winning position. So let's go back. From that 2016 T20 World Cup final, which he came back from, 2019 ODI World Cup.
Yeah, then the Ashes after that.
The Ashes, Headingley took England to arguably the greatest test innings of all time. Then
Vidur, and his knock in the T20 World Cup final is not, it's not vintage Stokes, but remember, this is the guy coming back from mental health issues.
Yeah.
Who taken a break.
Yeah.
I think that's what he does the best. He's very calculative and he knows when to take the risk. He can play the waiting game, he can hit it long, but he knows when to raise that game, when to hit that 6. A lot of players don't know that. When it's a pressure situation, not many can handle it better from Ben Stokes. He knows when to change the game.
I'm telling you, I was watching that Lords the way he went after Todd Murphy. On one leg.
Yeah,
he was on one leg. One leg. No drama. No drama. He's there. That's his role. Go for it.
You know, I'll tell you, I was discussing this with someone who Ben Stokes reminds me of. You know, that kid who, when you're playing in the evening in the park, that kid who can bat, who can bowl, who's just good at everything.
He can't bowl.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that Ben Stokes is that all-rounder, except he's doing it at the highest level.
Yeah. Can I tell you something? The way he bats like this, and listen, with all due respect to Tendulkar, Kohli, Dhoni, when it comes to sort of one-day greats, for me, the one-day batter, the sort of imprint in my mind has always been Viv Richards. The way Viv walked into bat, that swagger, bowlers would actually fear him. For a time, Tendulkar had it, right? But obviously, as Tendulkar's career sort of went into the 30s, he couldn't destroy attacks anymore. Viv always destroyed attacks. When I see Ben Stokes, I'm reminded of Viv Richards. That swagger, that belief, that you bowl harder at me, I'll hit you harder.
Yeah.
Again, let's think about it. Kohli, Dhoni, Sachin. Sachin, that when he moved into opening the batting for India, 94, till perhaps a phase till 2003, 2004, 5, till a tennis elbow came, that 10-year period, yes.
He was.
And then when you thought that, yes, this was what people were scared of, like Viv. And then Stokes just takes it and does it at a different level in a pressure game when his team needs it the most.
Yeah.
That's why I really think he's up there. He's up there. We'll see those polls in a minute.
Yeah, Stokes can be Gavaskar, he can be Yuvraj Singh, he can play according to the situation, he can play the waiting game. I think there's just no match
All
to
formats.
So what? 124 balls, 182.
9 sixes.
9 sixes, 15 fours. Let's talk this about the larger thing. England had a World Cup. Ben Stokes batting 4 or 5. Does his return take them ahead of India in the favourites list?
They kill.
Yeah, because I'm thinking that England, India, probably Pakistan, and probably Australia would be there in the knockout stage, and then whoever has Ben Stokes is the favourite.
Mohammad S. Fanbule says, I'm Mohammad S. Fanbule, watching you from Liberia, Monrovia, Whitetown, Bush, Rhode Island. Wow, that's a lot of places. Do send us a GPS link. We'll try to actually locate you. And why not? This sounds very interesting, an island.
Yeah.
Okay, we're looking for a place to go and chill after the World Cup ends because we're really going to be working non-stop for 50 days. So, Mohammed, tell us more specifically where you're from, and we'll probably come and knock on your door and say hi as well. Okay, let's look at some polls, right? The first one was obviously, which we just spoke, who will win the World Cup? England, India, Australia, Pakistan. What do you think?
Well, I think that England were already a formidable team without Ben Stokes.
Yeah.
Add arguably the best player in the world to your lineup, your favourites, even in India. So yeah, England are favourites for me.
I mean, the Indian heart in me says that with the form that India is slowly achieving, I would still back India because it's a home World Cup.
Okay. 67% of you think what Nikhil thinks. I'm going with Vidur. So that's 12.9%. At my vote, it's 13% then. but I think that England they bat very deep. They bat till 10.
Yeah.
Correct? I think that's where India lack at the moment. In the spin department, India better.
India better, yeah.
In terms of the way they approach the innings, England's batters better. I think England's batters, if you ask me to choose between England's batters and India's famed lineup, I'll choose England's batters because while India's batters will slowly accumulate and get those runs in the N350, England put you under pressure from the start.
Yeah.
It's basically baseball. I mean, just put baseball in ODI cricket.
Yeah.
In fact, ODI cricket was the template.
Was the template. Ian Morgan's side was the template.
Suddenly you have England 40 for 4, they'll still get to 280 and in 40 overs. They'll smash the living daylights out of you. That fear factor, I think, is what makes them sort of dangerous. Okay? Australia, 15.5% of you think Australia are going to be favourites, and just 4% think Pakistan. I think this number will rise. I actually think Pakistan can do some damage at this
We'll see that today in the semi-final.
No, that it's raining. The toss is delayed.
Okay.
The rain strikes again. Arun says Ben Stokes and Kohli are the same, Both are the greatest players. They know how to turn around the game. Interesting one. How do you compare Kohli and Stokes?
Again, Kohli hasn't done it on the big stage. I mean, his innings he's been good, but what Ben Stokes has done, Kohli...
No, Kohli's the better batter, without a doubt.
Yeah, he's a better batter, but in terms of winning a World Cup for your team, he hasn't done that. He was part of that squad, but he didn't play that kind of a role. He has done it. He has done it for in away series against Australia, against Sri Lanka. But
he's done it in the beginning of World Cups.
Yeah, beginning of the World Cups, yeah. But not.
I remember the Pakistan game 2015, 100, the last Pakistan game. But I think until he wins a World Cup by starring, I mean, listen, Sachin Tendulkar, his longevity, the runs he got, that perhaps puts him up there. There's a reason why a lot of people of that generation spoke a lot about Lara. And why because Lara, okay, they may not have won too many ICC events, but Lara also delivered when his team needed it.
Yeah.
Okay, that knock in Sydney, that 155 against Australia, probably batting with the last man. Ricky Ponting always got runs, winning causes. You know, the World Cup final, remember.
Yeah.
You can get runs in bilateral series.
Exactly.
You know, Dhoni's got 180. Rohit Sharma's got 260 at the Eden Gardens, right?
Yeah.
Against Sri Lanka, I remember that game. But when you do it in a World Cup final, we've got a big 100 in the 79 World Cup final. When you get that in a World Cup, Dhoni's 91.
Yeah.
Gambhir is 97. You remember that. Because it happened at that big stage when your team needed you. India under pressure, remember that World Cup?
Yeah. I think as a pure batter, obviously you will say...
Elvis!
Presley?
Calling Elvis. We are here. Elvis Sambarno says, hi, I'm live from Zambia. Hello, Elvis. Show us a bit of a dance moves. Okay, let's look at Samir says, yes, Ben Stokes is the greatest ODI batter. No doubt, no debate. Ooh, see? Okay, let's look at some, exactly that. Is Ben Stokes the greatest ODI batter? This is a poll we put out on our Twitter handle. Okay? Our options are Ben Stokes, Viv Richards, the person I grew up idolizing, Ricky Ponting, we just mentioned, Sachin Tendulkar. Now we've spoken about all four. What do you think?
Greatest batter.
Who's the greatest ODI batter? There's a trick in the question. The greatest ODI batter, not for the big occasion. So clearly, when you mention these four names, Ben Stokes goes down there.
If you talk about the
greatest ODI batter.
I think it has to be Sachin Tendulkar for now.
Okay.
I think maybe when Ben Stokes ends his career, maybe then that would be a difficult call. But at the moment, Sachin has his career.
But not much separating Sachin and Ponting, by the way. Not much.
Yeah.
Just, I think, those centuries. But I think that generation, Sachin, Lara to start off, Ponting a bit later.
Exactly.
It was basically Federer, Nadal, Djokovic of cricket. You can actually look at it that way, if you could give a comparison, if you agree with that.
Yeah. As a pure batter, I think you'll have to put Sachin. At the top of the list.
Surprised they haven't put Lara in this, huh? Yeah. But he'd be there in a test.
Yeah, when you say overall.
Okay, 11 and a half think Ponting. I'm heartbroken, only 11 think Viv.
Many
haven't seen Viv.
Many
haven't seen
media
Viv.
audience.
When Sachin Tendulkar looked up to Viv. And 72% think Sachin Tendulkar.
God.
Okay. Of Indian cricket? Of cricket.
Of cricket.
Okay. Next one. Who's going to win the ODI World Cup? No, we spoke about this, didn't we? Yeah. Okay. Next one. Let's take in a comment. Charles says, Ben Stokes understands the pitch pretty well. He can be called the greatest batter. I think there are a lot of new converts now. The way he's batting, I think people are understanding that he plays the occasion.
He plays the occasion.
Yeah.
And he
plays the occasion.
And he has the clarity of thought. Like I was reading one of his comments, he said that I knew that I was going to make a comeback, but I was keeping the media off the radar by saying it. So that clarity is still there. So he knows that's what reflects in his game. He knows when to play that game. So I think he's very clear in his mind, and that's what separates him.
He is just and the game plan. He always has a game plan, and he follows it. And he doesn't, it's a team game. There are 11 players out there. But sometimes the way that he single-handedly just drags his team out of a tough spot, it is really remarkable. And he does it time after time after time. He really is he is definitely the most clutch player in cricket. And he, as Nikhil said, he might be one of the most clutch players ever in the history of sport.
Okay, then let's do this other one. Another poll. Who was the greatest ODI match winner? Okay, there are options. Ben Stokes, Sachin Tendulkar, Ricky Ponting, Virat Kohli. Now, this is an interesting one.
So I'm glad that Virat Kohli is part of the list, because the number of times he has, he's the master of the chase. In ODI cricket, Virat Kohli's numbers are quite extraordinary. They're staggering.
No, Vidur, if you look at Virat and Ben Stokes, Virat miles ahead, better batter, whatever. But I think where we're looking at Stokes is the final 2019, the final 2022. Yeah. He's won 2 games for his team single-handedly. Let's face it, they were out in that game.
Exactly.
And they were out there. I think perhaps if Dhoni had swung it for India in that semi-final, you could have added him to that list as well.
I think this is Kohli's chance. If he wins this World Cup for India, probably...
No, winning a World Cup doesn't matter. He's won a World Cup.
No, like leading India to a World Cup,
he has to be one of the main reasons why India wins the World Cup.
Of the
it's
tournament.
important.
Like even for Sachin, a lot of these World Cups, he's been India's top scorer. But in that crunch moments, he's never been able to sort of take India over the line.
Yeah.
I think that's the worry. Even Virat in the Test Championship finals that we've played, the 2. What's he sort of? No hundreds.
No hundreds.
He played well in one innings this time.
Yeah, but that's...
final. But again,
in compared to...
I agree.
Okay, what do you remember 2007 ODI World Cup? Remember the final? Gilchrist 100.
Gilchrist.
He had a lousy World Cup till then.
Yeah.
They persisted with him.
Because he's a proven match winner.
Yeah. Why do we remember Yuvraj Singh from 2011? Yes, we remember a lot of Dhoni and Gambhir. But Yuvraj Singh.
All those matches.
So many
Yuvraj
matches,
Singh.
match winner. So many matches, 50s, wickets. So yeah. Okay, greatest ODI match winner. Unfortunately, my generation has lost. Sachin Tendulkar, 0.
What?
Ricky Ponting, top scores in a final, 3 World Cup wins, plays 4 World Cup finals, 0. 25% Stokes, 75% Kohli. The Kohli fans have it. The Sharma fans are going to get out. Why is Rohit not on this list?
But you look up the definition of match winner, it's Ben Stokes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's okay. Everyone has a right to their opinion.
Of course.
The other poll, which when you said thank you for putting those names in, well, I did. Thank you so much. Who is the greatest ODI all-rounder? This is an interesting one. I actually went back and sort of picked people I thought will come into this list. And okay, there's no Yuvraj. Okay, I'm putting it out there, even though he's a man of the series of that 2011 final. But when you're looking at the greatest all-round, you're looking at wickets and runs.
Yuvraj.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've picked Stokes here. I also picked Michael Bevan. I also picked Lance Klusener. And I also picked Sanath Jayasuriya.
I think this list is incomplete. Jack Callis.
Yeah. So I picked... See,
and Michael...
Callis, no. It's always should be one from one country. So Callis, yes, has the numbers. But I thought that in terms of impact, Klusener had more impact than Callis.
But 15 years...
Klusener single-handedly took South Africa...
If you would have won that World Cup, I mean... impact-wise, Lance Klusener, but 15 years only meant to score 11,000 runs in Test and ODIs and take 250 wickets.
I think without a doubt, Jacques Kallis is the greatest all-rounder of all time, better than Gary Soares.
He's one of the greats of the game.
He could get in a team purely as a batter or as a bowler, and he could bowl beamers as well, bouncers as well, everything.
And 15 years.
But in ODIs, he was always a stock bowler. He was like contain. He's a bit like our friend Chris Harris. Contain.
When you have Sean Pollock, Makaya Antony, and then Dale Steyn.
Sean Pollock could bat as well.
He is.
Okay, this one, what do you think? Bevan?
I doubt his bowling abilities. I think he is a left arm.
He's a googly, a Chinaman like Kuldeep. But a partnership breaker.
Yeah, well, but not.
He wasn't a pie chucker like Yuvraj Singh.
Kevin Peterson would know that.
Yeah. Okay, so Zulu, I think Jayasuriya, we forget that Jayasuriya came into the Sri Lankan team as a bowler. A number 7-8 batter.
I think he has 300 some wickets.
And he's 323 wickets, over 10,000 runs, and probably 9,000 runs in tests.
Yeah.
Became the most feared opener till sort of Sehwag went and sort of got those runs the way he did. But Sanath changed opening in test cricket. Sanath changed opening in one-day cricket.
Yeah.
Okay, you look at someone like an Adam Gilchrist. Okay, I will say that. You look at Adam Gilchrist, but Gilchrist wasn't the pioneer. When it comes to changing the way openers batted in ODI cricket, it was Mark Greatbatch, 92. But Mark Greatbatch was a one-hit wonder. You didn't see much of him after that 92 World Cup.
Yeah.
Jayasuriya, 96. Dave Watmore, Ranatunga, push him up, and Kalu Vitharna.
Romesh Kalu Vitharna. Yeah,
The impact. If you look at it, his runs weren't that great in that World Cup. Yeah, maybe 300, 250, 300. Sachin had close to 600 or even more. My memory serves me right. It's been a long time. But the fear Sanath Jayasuriya put into the opposition.
Explosive.
Exactly.
The fear. But I think Sanath Jayasuriya is actually,
An underrated
for me,
all-round.
I would put him up there ahead of Ben Stokes. If you're looking at the greatest ODI all-rounder, we're not looking at match winners, the greatest ODI all-rounder, because runs similar to Kallis, over 10, 11,000, 300 wickets, and that fear factor. Kallis did have the fear factor, neither with the bat, neither with the ball. Let's be honest, did Kallis have the fear factor?
Well, with the bat, I think he could. He was
he
more
would
of
do
a match
murder
winner
innings.
with
But
the
he would
bat.
play those long innings. He would come in the beginning and stay till the end. And also,
But again, I'm not denying any of that. I'm just saying, did he have the fear factor? No.
He was not as much of a match winner as some of these guys.
I think when we do this, you'll have to, because obviously all of them are great. I mean, you add more, you can say Kapil Dev and add Imran Khan, but I just thought that in that generation, the cricket, the all-rounder cricket was different. I mean, sort of how cricket has changed. You have to look post-1990. Who else can we put in there, in this list?
yeah, you mentioned Kapil Dev. And
Yuvraj?
again, what he said, Yuvraj wasn't an all-rounder. India
He
needed
was a batter who could bowl.
Yeah.
I think when you look at that, even though the poll doesn't say the same, I just think that Sanath had that fear factor. People were scared of Sanath Jayasuriya. People were scared. I mean, again, Wasim was one of the greatest bowlers of all time. I would pin
greatest left-arm pacer.
no, left arm. Yeah, I would pick him in any team.
Yeah,
best Test
absolutely.
11, best ODI 11.
Absolutely.
But Wasim was a bowler who could bat a bit.
I think like you mentioned Chris Harris, his partner Chris Keynes, when he came, he had the pace and he could hit those, but didn't have that
match winner.
consistency.
Chris Keynes was
disruptive. He was
and
against India.
India.
Okay, so in this poll, it's much more closer. Stokes is 44.2, Bevan 9.3, Klusner 17.1, Jayasuriya 29.5. Close.
Yeah. I would still pick Ben Stokes.
Pick Ben Stokes. Can't bowl, by the way.
That's okay. He
can hit
bowls
182.
up,
You don't need him to bowl. He will bat the opposition out.
Okay,
Yeah.
that debate will continue. But we think Ben Stokes is going to be a game changer for England. So do you. Our final poll is Ben Stokes' return a game changer for England. Yes or no, boys? Yes, I know.
Yes, of course.
Overwhelming yes.
Of course.
15%, 19.4% think no. 80.6%. I think this is the most lopsided poll we've ever done. It was 180-20. It is 80.6 and 19.4. But I just think that Ben Stokes coming out of bat, 4 or 5, England in trouble. The opposition can't do an Azharuddin and do this. No, they can't. They're scared. He's scared. He has that fear factor. In this generation, he has that fear factor.
Yeah, he's the plan B. In England, plan A will work, but he's the plan B. Other teams don't have that plan.
Plan B is Ben Stokes.
Yeah.
Stokes' plan A is Ben Stokes. Actually, no. Plan A is Bairstow, Butler, Harry Brook. No, listen. We're just wrapping this up, but where does Harry Brook come in? Malan has scored runs.
Yeah.
Okay. Livingstone is scoring runs. Who's going to sit out?
Exactly why I'm saying
Spoil for choices.
they have a
but
selection
you
heading.
thought it was three people, right? The three people were under pressure. It was Malan, Livingston, and one more. I'm forgetting who the third was.
And Jason Roy is also there.
And Roy.
Yeah. He's also
So
there in the
maybe Roy is under pressure now if they have to play Harry Brook.
I think Brook would make it to the squad, but
I think he'll be standby.
Yeah, he'll be.
I think he'll be on standby now with all of them scoring runs. It's like
you need an aggressive batter. You're Roy, and then Malan to give that
aggressive
stability.
batters now Stokes.
no, at the top of the order, like Roy, David Malan, then probably who bats at number 3? Joe Root.
Joe Root.
Joe Root plays.
Joe Root plays.
Joe Root plays at 3.
Stokes.
It seems everyone has forgotten about Joe Root.
Hey, Joe Root scores at more than 100 in ODI.
yeah,
No?
yeah.
Stokes, Butler. I mean, what a lineup. Match winners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What a lineup. What a lineup here. Thank you, boys. Okay, 6:30 p.m. India. What's up?
Nikhil?
I think you have a good explainer coming for the
Yeah.
NBA fans.
Oh.
Yes, it's good news for the NBA fans. They will get to see more of the stars. There's a new player participation policy. We'll break that down. It's a little complicated, but we've
It's
got
like
it
the
covered.
PGA Tour's elevated events.
Yeah, yeah.
So there'll be, like in the PGA Tour, say 15, 20 events, you're going to see the best players in action. That's what the NBA is saying. And if you don't follow it, first strike, get away. Second strike, sort of a pat on the back.
Yeah.
Third strike, $1 million fine. Okay, that hurts.
Yeah, 1.2. And then if you keep doing it, $1 million more each time. Only $1 million more than your previous fine each time.
Yeah. Kyrie Irving? Does it apply to him? Okay.
I mean,
cricket, obviously, what's happening? Pakistan, Sri Lanka, if it's rained out, Sri Lanka go through because Pakistan got hammered by India. Davis Cup action, tennis action is also plenty of stuff we have.
Canada, defending champions, winning their tie. And Spain couldn't win
And
without...
it's actually an upset.
Yeah.
It's actually an upset because no Orja
It was
Aliassim,
second
no
string.
Shapovalov,
Yeah.
players ranked 200 and 150, beating the Italians who were 18 and 38. That's on Italian turf.
Yeah, and similar thing happened again. Czech Republic versus Spain. You know, they were playing in Spain, but Czech Republic, a young team, defeated Spain. Obviously, they didn't have Carlos Alcaraz, but 3-0 sweep.
And Nole Djokovic has landed, and he's partying with his Serbian team. Just the look of delight on their face, those videos when we saw. Lovely pictures. Anything else important?
Yeah, I
Football,
think
someone's got sacked.
Oh,
Somebody
yeah.
called Ronaldo is very happy.
Poland have parted ways.
Fernando Santos is out of the job.
9 months. Yeah.
But he had so much job security at Portugal, right? 8,
yeah.
10 years he was manager.
Yeah, but if you don't play Ronaldo,
Anyways, that's it. See you 6:30 p.m. India on WION. I think this format works well.
but we had so many comments like I can